We're doing the game on
being recorded.
ToDoodle 17. The warm-up we're saving for over the weekend. We tried some guesses. We want to have all the oranges be the same, all the blues be the same, and all the pinks be the same. And we got this to be 26. Yay. And this to be, whoops, one moment. 20. So yay, that's supposed to be an orange one. But then it kind of didn't work here. This was not 25. So some of our numbers are wrong. So you can double click on the post-it notes, change them to something else. But whenever you change, say, an orange to a different number, you have to change all the oranges and so on. We don't know what the numbers on the edge will be. So don't think that this has to be following a pattern. Maybe it does count by fives, 20, 25, 30, 35, but maybe this is 100 and this is 90 or something strange. Okay, no, we can't swap places. The colors have to stay where they go, right? Wherever there's a spade, we need to have pink, and wherever there's a circle, we need to have blue. But moving on, we're going to save that for over the weekend. We have a new game inspired by Alice in Wonderland. It's our first cooperative game. And we're going to need random numbers, but this time we're doing it with cards, the spades between 2 and 9. So you should have received in the mail 8 different little, they're called card sleeves, plastic things where you could put cards, and cheaper than sending everyone a deck of cards, then you had a page that had pretend playing cards for these particular ones, the spades 2 through 9. So find that and then cut them out. I'm going to pause the recording and then we'll get back together and be able to play our game. So to be clear for the recording, you're going to find the page that looks like this in your packet of materials, where we have pretend playing cards, and then put these in the little sleeves so you can shuffle them easy, and then we can play our game. So in this game,
This meeting is being recorded.
Cards, and we're going to shuffle them and draw 4 on our turn. And we're going to arrange them in this weird shape where we put the highest one here, the second highest there, and then we go to the left to the second smallest, and then up to the smallest. So we're making sort of an X shape. Everyone see how that path works?
Mm-hmm.
And then that makes a subtraction problem. Then what happens is you subtract with that pattern. I'm going to draw here again to kind of remind us of that pattern. And find the number that's closest. So we're practicing rounding also. And you get to move your pawn to that number, right? So wherever you are. And then wherever you are in either middle or right or left, you can paint 1 rose on either side of you. So if you want to paint these roses, you have to be on the right side. If you want to paint these roses, you can stand here or here. Does that make sense? You can reach to either side of where you are. So here's all the roses. To paint it, you just kind of put one on. Ta-da. So we want to paint all the roses before the queen arrives to inspect the garden. So if the cards that we reveal include either a 2 or a 3, then the queen moves 1 step on her path. So when the queen sees a 2 or a 3, then we will move her 1 step.
Okay.
And our job is to paint all the roses we can before the queen arrives.
So it's cooperative.
It is cooperative. Yep.
All right.
So there's 4 of us. We don't really start on any square, so I'll just move us all over. Pick what color you want to be.
I'll take blue.
Blue. Okay, so
I'll
I'm
take
going to
red.
say blue is April. Let me move it over. So, who was red? I'm sorry.
Me.
Yeah, okay. Christian, what color? Green or yellow? Looks like he's busy with something. Okay, I'll make Christian green. And that leaves yellow for me. So I'll go first as an example. So I take my cards, I shuffle my cards. If you have the card sleeves, don't stick one in the top because you will rip them apart. So sort of merge them in the bottom corners. Then I will turn over 4. I got 6, 5, 2, and 4. So following this pattern, I have the biggest one is 6, then 5, then 4, and then 2. So I'm trying to do 62 minus 45. With me so far?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay, so I can't do 2 minus 5. I need to change that into a 12. So go to the cash register. Can I give you a dime and you give me 10 cents? They say sure. So that 6 becomes a 5. That 2 becomes a 12. And then I can do my subtraction. 12 minus 5 would be 7. 5 minus 4 is 1. So 17 is closest to 20. I move me there. I grab a rose and I color it in. Now, did we see a 2 or a 3? We did. So the queen moves 1 step already. Not good for us. Okay, who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Okay,
So just shuffle them and pick one.
pick 4. And
Pick
if you
4.
tell me your 4 numbers, I will write them on the board so the people that are watching the recording know what you have.
All right.
The one's drawing.
All right. I have 6.
Is that your biggest, or you're telling me them in decreasing order?
Oh, the highest one is 8,
8. Okay, 8.
and then 7,
Mm-hmm.
6, and 2.
Okay. So 82 minus 67. What should Cheyenne do?
That'd be 12.
We want a 12. So if we made change, we need to get rid of one of the 10s. So yes, 12 minus 7 is 5. 7 minus 6 is 1.
Be 15.
So 15. So she gets to move her red thing. Should she move to 10 or 20? How did we round 15?
20.
20. So she's on 20 with me and gets to pick a rose next to the 20.
So I got to move a rose.
So we'll move your red spot down and then pick any rose and put it on either side of you.
Okay.
Great. And now, unfortunately, you also had a 2. So the queen has
Yep.
already moved 2 steps.
I'll go now.
Okay.
I got the highest one is 8. Oh no, 9.
Then
8. 6. 4.
okay. What should April do?
With
So
14.
We want a 14. So to get more ones, we have to borrow from a 10. So that 9 goes down to 8. 14 minus 8, that's going to be 6. 8 minus 6 is 2. What number is 26 closest to on the garden paths?
30.
30. So April, being blue, can move her thing to 30 and then color any rows next to 30.
That's not 30.
That's not 30.
Either side. Okay, and then the next step.
Did it. Okay, great. Christian's turn. If your mic isn't working, Christian, just type them in chat, but you were talking earlier. Okay, I need to shuffle. I need to shuffle. I need to not get a 2 or a 3. Enough of this 2s or 3s. Oh, no, that didn't work. I got a 2 and a 3.
Oh no.
But luckily it says or, so she only moves one step. Okay, so I had 9, 5, 3, and 2. So as before, we want to make the 2 into a 12. Goodbye 9, you become 1 smaller. 12 minus 5 is 7. So 17, I'm going to stay on 20. And I will keep going with a rose. Okay, Cheyenne's turn.
All right. Dang it, I got a 2 again. So 8 is the highest,
Okay,
and then 7, and then 5, and 2.
3. Okay. 2, you said.
Yeah, 2.
Okay. So we want the 2 to be a 12. Goodbye 8, you go down by 1. 12 minus 7 is 5. 7 minus 5 is 2. Where does she move?
Wait,
We're on that 30.
Yeah, from 25. 25 runs up to 30.
yeah.
So her red pawn can go to 30 and then color any rows next to 30.
Hey, neighbor.
Hey, what's up? Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Oh, it's not. Never
That's
mind.
fine. You're next to 30. Okay. Help us, April. We keep doing 2s and 3s.
Got 6, 4. Okay, first one is 9, 6, 5, and 4.
Yay. Okay, the queen doesn't move. Can we do 4 minus 6? No. So we have to borrow. That becomes a 14. Goodbye 9. You go down by 1. 14 minus 6.
8.
8. 8 minus 5. 3. 38. Where does April move?
40. One
40.
more.
It looks like the goal should be, can you finish any rose bush before the queen appears? And you get all 4 of them. Okay. Christian, are you with us? Do you want to take a turn?
This one looks kind of naked.
Okay, here I go. Oh no. 9, 5, 4, and 2. 9, 5, 4, and 2. But the 2 means the queen moves. 2, I want 12 instead. 9 goes down to 8. 12 minus 5 is 7, 47. So I can move up to 50. Let's keep working on this bush. That over a rose. No, that's not even over a rose. Okay, there we go. Cheyenne's turn.
Cephaline.
No, 2. No, 2 or 3.
Dang it. Okay. 9, 8, 5.
Act like it's not there. No.
That's okay.
So
Well,
the game is over.
how many roses did we get? If we put all of our roses on one plant, because we were more strategic, did we have enough to finish even one plant?
There's 7 roses.
No, but we were pretty unlucky. So maybe your job is to try and finish one single plant before the queen gets to her spot.
Right.
Or maybe I need to edit this and put more steps in the queen path so she's not as quick. I tried this last term and the queen only moved on a 2 and there were no 2s. We played this game for like way too long and it got really boring. And so I was trying to speed it up, but between switching it to 2 or 3.
And we didn't have the cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, the queen stood up and was like, that's not enough roses.
Okay, but there we go. There's that game. What else is there on this ToDoodle? There's a pattern that someone has worked on already. Alice was trying to do some math. There's a chapter in Alice in Wonderland called The Pool of Tears. And she has this counting by 2s chart. But she pretends that she's multiplying. She says 4 times 5 is 12. 4 times 6 is 13. Oh dear, I'll never get to 20 at that rate. So what's happening is that this was actually, I said 2, is counting by 1s. So whoever wrote this misled me. She was counting by 1s as she got bigger. And if that's what was actually happening, she's not going to get all the way to 20. She'd have 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19 by the time you get up to 12. And all of the multiplication tables they used in school in those days went up to 12 by 12. So she was saying, I wouldn't make it to 20. But what is she really doing? She's not multiplying because 5 times 4 isn't 12. What pattern would make this happen? So it's a 3-step pattern. First, you do something to the 5, and then you add 2, and you get to 12. I guess that's a 2-step pattern, but one is just sort of seeing the answer. So what are you doing in this blank row that makes the pattern work? In the middle row, it's add 1 less each time. And start subtracting when you get below 0. So that's something to play with over the weekend if you want. Not important, but just kind of cute because we're talking about Alice. And then there's a lot of math hidden in Alice in Wonderland. My favorite example involves the Mad Hatter's watch at the tea party. Alice makes a comment that watch is strange. because it tells the day of the month, but not the hour. And she also comments it's 2 days wrong. So what is that all about? Well, the story at different places reveals it happens on Alice Little's birthday, the real life Alice that was being told this story before he wrote it out. And the story was written in 1862. But that day, May 4th, 1862, there were exactly 48 hours difference between the calendar months for our Gregorian calendar and the lunar months for the cultures that use a lunar calendar. So the Mad Hatter was wearing a watch that followed the lunar calendar, and that's why he's 2 days wrong. They're just a little Easter egg, what we call today, right? The little things you don't have to notice, but they make the story have more detail if you know that.
Mhm.
So if you're interested, completely optional, then you could either do some research on the internet about math in Alice in Wonderland, just kind of put that in Google and see what you get, or talk about some other math that you know hidden in a story. Any math puzzles that you know of hiding in stories. But the main thing was just to play this game, because as you saw, it made subtraction problems happen where you would always have to borrow in the ones column. So if you needed practice with that, then there we go.
Okay.